दिखा कमाल वो आके ज़मीं पे दे के जाए आसमां। शाबाशियाँ 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 शाबाशियाँ। सच होने की खातिर जो सपने कीमत मांगेंगे, जागते रातें कीमत भर देना। जब नजदीक से देखें तो खुशियों के।
Hello everyone. Once again, this is Gopal, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Gopal Mathematica. Today we have a special guest with us, and it's going to be an exciting episode of my show called Knowledge and Learning. And because today with us is an amazing person who is a well-known expert trainer and founder director of Curious Learning Initiatives, which is shaping classroom teaching learning process, especially in primary education. He is none other than Rajendran sir. He is a well-known expert, and he is currently working with over 20 schools across Tamil Nadu for over nearly 30 years. And it's a very long journey that he has covered till now, and even he's serving till for the sake of all the teachers and students. He has been involved in shaping classroom teaching learning processes, especially in primary schools, for 10 years. He has worked as a resource person under District Primary Education Program, Kerala Government. Sir has developed training modules and conducted state-level trainer workshops from 1997 to 2007. He is also heading the textbook development workshops for Tamil medium schools under DPEP and SCERT Kerala from 1984 to 2004. He was one of the invited speakers when the Tamil Nadu government called experts for their views on curriculum creation in 2017. Sir was the part of core team of Ignis ERG, an all India organization that consults the governments across India for their projects in Uttar Pradesh and Odisha. At the international level, he consulted for Bangladesh government and had advised schools in Malaysia. As a special invitee, he attended an international conference for 100 innovators in education in Finland in 2018. He has also authored many books in Tamil for teachers and constructive pedagogy. So I welcome you, Rajendran sir, for this wonderful interview that you allowed us.
Thank you, Gopalji, for having me here in your channel. It's my pleasure to be interacting with you. So happy. So please throw your questions. Let me try.
Thank you, sir. So very first question that I want to ask is, sir, could you please tell us about your organization? I mean, an overview of the Curious Learning Initiatives and how it works for the development of schools.
Okay. So over the years, I've been with the DPP and SCRT and participated in 3 or more textbook revisions. So developed state-level training modules for teachers and etc. Gave training to a number of teachers in various levels and etc. But what happens is that after the training or after the textbook revision or when the textbook or were being published, our expectations was very much high, so hereafter there will be no, there won't be no problems in education. That kind of, because we worked a lot to shape the textbooks and activities and handbooks and etc. The same kind of work has been, or the effort has been put to develop the training modules for teachers and all other people in education sector. But the result is that not much as we expected. So we were in the search of why, where is the problem? So what happened? The teachers remain the same, or the teacher-centric classrooms are majority are there. So why? So we searched for that, and what do you call it? By accident, we met an expert, and he's after that he gave training in the DPP period, but after say 20 years after that, and we again met, thanks to social media, and again met through things. So we started talking and working. That is how I joined a core member in Ignis ERG. So he is the principal coordinator of Ignis ERG, Mr. Shubir Shukla. So I thanks a lot for him asking one of the question that changed my view or perception of looking things in the classroom and etc. So one of his training, he asked that question: are we teaching the content, or are we teaching the processes, or are we teaching children? This is a fantastic question, So all these textbook preparation, changing the content, and all the training times, we are changing the processes. But we never considered or never taken into account how children will receive and what is their nature and how they are learning things and etc. So we started observing children, and so we found out something why it doesn't work, because children are already curious and everything. So here what happens is one person is talking and everything. So without what do you call getting the responses or considering the reflections of children and etc. This is the first thing. So the same thing. So curious learning initiatives were formed after we found out that all children have their own learning process. And if we develop some material and according to their learning activities, according to their learning process, we can see some success, not 100%, but it will work. That is our experience. So the finding out the learning process and testing our activities and etc., we formed that curious learning initiatives. The name itself denotes that everything, if it is curious to the children, and the learning process works, their learning process will start work only they are curious and happy. So this is the thing. So we found out that, so that is how it is formed. It is meant for developing numeracy and literacy among the primary children. This is the background, and we are still working. So we worked a language program called long story system. Long story system means we have a story, it runs through the year, a whole year, one long story. But here and there, you can stop, and there are some twists and turns, some cliffhangers and etc. So children want to know what happened next. That is how
like a puzzle.
Yeah, a puzzle, or almost kind of TV soap operas, So the serials, So they want to know what happened
what's
next.
going to happen.
Yeah. That
Excitement
is the
stays.
thing. Yes. So that makes, if you want to know what happened next, here is the reading card. You have to read and find out. That is the strategy. Okay, so
Wonderful strategy.
we think reading as important thing is that it's like a treasure hunt. Okay, and the other concept we strongly believe in is reading is a process of meaningful speculation. So the child is guessing something and they want to check whether my guess is right or wrong or not. That is how reading happens. When you read something, say, when you read the fourth line, you are guessing what would be the fifth line. Automatically, you are guessing and you are checking every time. So these two concepts we strongly believe in, and we developed the long story process for LKG, from LKG to standard 5. So it comprises of three materials. One book, a book of over 250 pages for a teacher, and some 30 reading cards for children, and some 50, 60 worksheet pages. These three materials comprises one program. This
Okay,
is how.
wonderful.
So,
So
and
means
after figuring out the learning process, we slowly stepped into maths. That is
so wonderful means
okay
you
path
your
of
your
journey till.
program your
Okay.
program usually allows the freedom for the students to
Yes,
think
yes, yes,
and
yes.
think and then guess what is
Yeah.
going on next.
Yeah. No, the basic concepts or the basic training we are giving to children is you should be ready to change your content and processes according to the nature of the children or according to the experiences of your children. You have to change the content and processes. Otherwise, it's of no use. If
Wonderful.
children doesn't accept that, what is the use? Okay,
Exactly.
so that is the main principle. So he is known as the child-friendly teacher, the teacher who is willing and ready to
Yes,
change her content and processes is the truly child-friendly teacher.
exactly. The wonderful views, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So one important thing that you always used to say, whether you teach maths,
Mm.
science, or history, it urged you to look at the child first, to
Yes, yes,
first seek to understand the child as he or she is before trying to make the learn as a student. So, sir,
yes,
this is your statement, which I have
yes.
read through some articles. And
Okay.
can you please elaborate the above statement for all the teachers who are listening out there?
Yeah. So this is the crucial thing, I suppose I am very happy to share. So our views about children and everything. So now the thing is that when the child comes to school at the age of 3 and 3.5 for the LKG or lower primary, the child knows a lot. Now the exposure is so much, and the child can even teach you about something. The difference is that the child getting some experience and the teacher doesn't have that experience, and the child is well versed in that, the teacher is not. So this gap is always be there nowadays. So I usually ask a question like this, in the teacher training: is there any difference between children born 20 years ago and now? So that is, and the other question is, are we changing our teaching learning process according to that? Then that is the question. So here, the children learns a lot of things before coming to school using a processes. We call it as children's process or something like that, so, and how we came to such a conclusion is just by observing children. If you want to, or everyone, if you want deeply about it, you can Google that babies escape. No, if you type
Yeah,
babies escape, you can
one
come up with
movie.
lot of videos. So the child finds her own way to solve or to satisfy her needs.
Exactly.
That is the basic thing. So why the needs comes? Because a happy experience has already it experienced a happy one. So something is happy and you enjoyed it, you want to enjoy again and again. That is the basic thing. And suppose I want to narrate as a common event or incident, all are familiar with.
Yes,
So
sir.
I want to share an experience most people are familiar with. No, the thing is that take the case of a 2-year-old, 2 year or 2.5 year old baby, it can operate the TV and change channels using a TV remote, right?
Exactly.
So nobody taught her how to use a TV remote. It watches, the baby watches how the father is watching or changing
Exactly.
channels and etc. And sometimes the mother shows the cartoon to feed the baby and etc. So, and also nowadays the jingles, the ads and then the music attracts children, and they watch the ad, and when the ad is over they will go out and play. So these two three things attracts from the TV. When the child want to watch again, maybe at that time the father may be watching news or cricket or something, in which the child is not at all interested.
Interesting.
So she will ask for the TV remote, and our father will say that, no, 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 you don't know. Don't break it. Please put it. And you go. The child will watch for an opportunity, look for an opportunity when nobody is there, and the child will take the remote and press the buttons here and there. And accidentally, when comes the red button, and the TV got live, and what happens is that she 2 3 times presses the red button and confirms that, oh, it is not fluke. This is the button, it operates the TV and etc. Next day, she will come and just press the button and start watching it. No, this is the process, everywhere. Now look about the cell phone case. Say 4 year, 5 year children are playing with n number of apps with the cell phone, where we don't know an ABCD of that, right? So
Exactly.
using the same thing, something attracts. So he is trying something and figuring out something and confirming it, and it becomes the child's knowledge. So here, these are the 7 tips. So happy evenings, events are the child is experiencing a happy event or something, and the child wants to experience again and again. Then comes some obstacles, hindrances. The child figures out her own way to overcome that, and there may be number of ways, but the child will select the suitable one and find the solution for that. And if she confirms it by using 2 3 times, maybe in different situations, and at last it becomes the child's knowledge. So in these learning processes, the teacher or in the classroom has only two options. The option is that the teacher has to create a happy or room. And the second thing is that when the child comes again, and she has to challenge, or she has to and it becomes an activity. That becomes is an activity. It is very, very important. In not explaining, not showing pictures, not using objects, and it's not going to attract him. The attraction where it comes is that you are hiding something, you are not explaining something, you are withdraw something, and you are saying half of it, and ask the child to guess, and that comes the child's involvement, or that guarantees the involvement of the mind of the child. That is how the learning process unrolls in what do you call, in the classroom. So the teacher who is hiding something, or what do you call, who is not explaining everything, is a good teacher, right? Let the child guess, and let the child check for himself or herself, and facilitating or creating a situation for that will become a good teacher, right? This is the thing. If you want to explain this situation concerning with mass, the thing is that, let me explain. This is a very crucial thing, and this is how we are working now, and we are looking for more activities like this. The thing is, if you want to add two numbers, nothing interesting in that, right? Okay, so what is interesting in that? Nothing. So how
Nothing.
can we attract the child? So the teacher asks like this. Now, suppose I am asking in language class also, in language. So if I ask 5 different questions, what will be your answers? 5 different answers, right? And children will like, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now I am giving 5 different numbers. or 5 different sums having different numbers. So the total will be different, right? And the children will say, yes, yes, yes. And this is the crucial situation or important situation. And the teacher says that now I am going to give you 5 different sums having different numbers, but do you know the answer will be the same? Then there should be some connection between the numbers. You have to find out. Can you find out that? And the curiosity begins. So different numbers gives the same answer. What is the connection between the number between these sums and etc. That starts finding pattern, what you call academician's language. Here what is that? The child want to know what is the secret in it. The numbers are different but the answer is same. How it happens? This one example of uh, attracting children towards maths.
Wonderful ways,
Right?
lot of wonderful techniques that you are sharing, sir.
Yeah.
It will
Okay.
help. It will help a lot of teachers.
Sure.
So, again, I have one important questions that, sir, it would be very exciting for all the listeners if you could share about your childhood, like how you were there in your childhood and how much excited you were at the time of learning.
No, about my childhood, nothing special about it. I was born in a small village in Kerala state in Palakkad district. Okay, so I studied in a Tamil medium school. So my even though my mother tongue is Malayalam, so I became a Tamil teacher. No, how I became a teacher, it's an accident, or what do you call it? It's because of my father asked me to go to teacher training. Why? Because then only you will get a job quickly. So that is his. The same thing happened. So after completing my pre-degree, so father asked me to apply for teacher training, and I applied it. I got it. After 2 years, after the course, within 2 months, I got a government job. That
Okay.
is how so quickly I became a teacher, and nothing happened over the say 10, 15 years. I was just an ordinary teacher. So nothing special about it. But accidentally, what happens is when the DPEP project came and district primary education project came, and there was an invitation for 2 teachers to participate in the state level workshop. And our district, Palakkad district, was one among the selected 6 districts under the project. And by accident, one teacher was absent there at that time. So I went to headmaster's room for saying that that teacher didn't turn up and he was on leave. And headmaster said that he want to complete or finish that work immediately. So he asked me, "Do you want to go?" And I said yes. So he cut that his name and entered my name. That is how I participated in a state level workshop for the first time in Trivandrum. That is under the DPP, where I met Mr. Shubhir Shukla there. And
Okay.
I became what do you call a BRC trainer, that is giving, so deputed as a BRC trainer. And mostly I was in Trivandrum, or the capital of Kerala, under the SCRT office or DPEP office, working with textbook development and developing training modules and etc. This is my story. So that training changed my thing. So, and also a particular question he asked, Mr. Subir Shukla asked that, what are the skills of a cowherd boy, a boy who is rearing cows and cattle and etc. What was his skill set? And as I am coming from village, and I am regularly what do you call looking after the cattle, and I listed about some 20, 25 skills. So where to graze the cows and what is the meaning of a particular sound, and when you have to bath the cows, and when how you have to feed the what do you call young one of the cow, and etc., etc. And he listed out all the skills, and he asked the second question. So, what are the skills of a school-going boy or a student or something like that? So we thought and thought that we can't come up with two, three. So every time if something a problem comes, the child will goes to elders, or teachers. So what to do? Please help or something like that. And he asked the serious, strong question then why you are working as a teacher and what is the meaning of your job and etc. That I think maybe some majority of teachers take it, or the participants of the training took it as usual, but as a teacher from the village and going on participating in a state level workshop, and my ego was so, look, here I am in the state capital for the first time participating in a what do you call state level workshop. I am a participant among the direct lectures and everything. So my ego was so high, but it bursted out. So I think that confidence breaking worked on me. So I couldn't sleep that night, and I started searching the meaning for my job and etc. That is the beginning of my journey. So
That
turning point.
boosted up your motivation
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah,
and
yeah.
more.
So I
And
couldn't sleep for say days. One after other days, I was thinking and thinking, and
all
I started talking with the experts and also Subir and everything. So he gave me a what do you call, or he showed me where you have to go and etc.
so all thanks to your father and Almighty that they have made
Really.
this wonderful accident with you
Yeah,
as
it's
as a
quite an
teacher.
accident, really.
And the phrase that you have used, it's so amazing that so funny, but still, we all are very
Yeah,
happy that you are there as a teacher and a wonderful expert trainer for all of the teachers
thank you,
in
thank you.
India.
Okay,
So, so again, I have few more questions, sir.
sure, please.
So next, I have gone through your webpage and I can see that your entire focus is on constructive pedagogy and
Yes,
also you emphasis on problem solving. Why is
yes.
this? And why is this that you are mainly focusing on these particular
Okay,
uh,
okay,
points?
okay. So, constructivism, that is in when the things didn't work, the textbook development and the teacher training didn't work, and Subir asked that the crucial question, and we started observing so children and how they are learning and etc. So the point we came across is that every time children's perception is quite different, and they are looking things at their own what do you call capacities and with meanings and everything. So they have what do you call um, an opinion or their own opinion about everything, right? Based on their previous experiences and everything, So the thing is that how can I say? So let me give an example that. So when how children learn a language is that children are observing and everything, and they are making rules. That is the important thing. They themselves, okay, so this is how. When I say this is the response I am getting and everything. So every time the children are making some rules, and when something opposite happens, the child is quite ready to change their rules and try a new thing. This is the basic thing, every time the child is learning that. So first how I came, this is that my son and I traveled to Delhi, no, after Andhra Pradesh or Telangana now, the North Indian friends will come to our bogie, and or they will talk Hindi and etc. So he is observing and listening. When we reached Delhi, he got down from the train. The first sentence he asked is that, "Father, I want an ice cream hay." So he was at 2 or 2.5 at that time. No, the thing is that he is observing and making a rule. What is the rule? After the sentence, these people are saying hey, hi, ho, and etc. So if I want to talk Hindi like, the thing is that you have to add a hey or ho at the end of the sentence. This is a very good example of how children making rules or language rules, right? Then they are applying and getting the response, modifying it, fine-tuning it. If they are getting the repeated results, what they are expecting, they confirms that and they use everywhere. No, this is the thing. But look at the classroom situation. The classroom situation is that the teacher figure is the authoritative, like God-like figure, He has the authority and everything, and he is explaining a lot of things. So when the teacher explains, it becomes a Veda kind of thing for the child. It took up as the God's own words, right? But when something opposites or when something against the rule happens, the child is very much reluctant or very much what you call struggle to change that rule, the rule taught by the teacher, because the child, the baby or the student treats the teacher as an ultimate authority of everything, right? But so it is very, very hard, or it very, very strugglesome for the child to change that rule, right? Now look some say an example of what do you call, say division, suppose, and 15 divided by 3. The thing is that we are saying 5, but when you put the what do you call materials, teaching some beats or manipulatives and etc., what happens is that you are not getting 1 5, you are getting 3 5s. So according to the child, the answer is not 5, but 5 5 5, right? Okay, but the teacher is saying 5, right? The child is not able to, but he has the feeling, but he treats teacher, when the teacher says something, it should be right or something. So, but her experience is different. This is the conflict happens. So whenever you teach something and something, what do you call, against or opposite happens, the child slowly loses the confidence of teaching learning process by a teacher or happening in the classroom. Okay, there are a lot of things. So child is observing every time. Now simply take the case of a language example. How a teacher taught a story. No, he or she explains 2 times and read out 2 times, then ask the child to read the lesson. This is a normal or common process I can see wherever I go and observe the language class. Now think about that. 4 times I have already listened to that story and etc. Then what is the purpose of reading the lesson again? No meaning, right? So the meaningful or the meaningless activities slowly, when the child starts thinking logically. Okay, then this is the happenings. One more example to this. So teacher is writing down question and answers. Now think about that. The answers are in the book. The child says that, why are you writing or what is the need for writing the same answers in a notebook when the answers are in the textbook? Okay, so why you asked us to bring or what do you call all these luggage so to classroom when the answers are in the textbook, right? So these are the thing, and the teacher says that question number 7, 8, and 6 are very important. Automatically, what happens? Then why are you writing the answers unimportant questions, right? So these are so these conflicts comes, So it is better for the teacher to allow children to come up with or make meanings and etc. and ask them to convey it and develop some interactions and etc. Slowly, the concept will emerge because of that interaction. And the beautiful thing is that it is constructed by them and they are ready to change whenever they face some opposite or a situation against it. That is the beauty of constructivism, allowing children to make meaning. That is the thing.
Truly wonderful, sir.
Okay.
And the things that you're telling and making some special points, I can see my child who is 2 years old now. A lot of things, a lot of similarities I can think of, like what
Okay.
you're saying. All those
Okay.
things are going parallel with my child. The way
Fine.
he, the
So a
way
lot more
he,
surprises are awaiting to you. Okay. Ready
he's
for
now
that?
2 years old, and most of the things what you said, I can see that
The
all of them are
child
matching with my child. Sir, there is some connectivity issue again. Hello.
Sorry, Gopal. The connection
Yes.
didn't work for early
Now it's
releasing.
fine. Now fine,
Now
sir.
it's fine. So the point I made was that children are ready to surprise us every time. Okay, so we simply cannot guess or assume what will the child say or do to a given situation.
Mhm.
Every time children are ready to surprise us. Be ready for that. More surprise awaiting.
Exactly.
Okay.
We
Okay, good.
we are enjoying his childhood the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
but
yeah.
as you already said that 20 years back, how the child behaved, and
Yes.
now
Mm.
when a child is there at this generation, is behaving completely different. What
Yes, yes, yes.
we have done that time is completely different. What he's doing now. I have also seen that your main focus has been always in improving primary education. So, what made you to think of training teachers at this level,
Mm,
and
mm.
how much is it is needed in present days to be trained primary teacher?
Okay. Yes, everyone knows that the primary children getting experiences after experiences, they are making some judgments. Not, I can't say judgments, but some concepts about and everything. And it is very difficult for us to change what do you call that concept. The real or unlearning is very, very difficult. Now, if what happens when a child keep on observing what the teacher is doing nowadays, she can form the following concepts like this. So every time there is going to be a test. Okay. So I have to prepare for my test and everything. So if the questions are like this, I can study or I have to prepare all other. It is better to skip that. Okay. So you cannot simply what do you call say the child is wrong because the child is getting all the thing. The focus is given to exams and questions like this. This is the one thing. And second thing is that the teacher is deciding everything in the classroom. Okay, so which lesson to be taught and where to write the question answers and which boy she has to ask question and everything. So my role is the teacher asks something, let us do it and forget it. Okay. These kind of concepts, the child is developing by observing our classroom processes. So for them, what is education is that if the elders, adults are saying something, I have to repeat it. Okay, so that is the rote learning part of it and everything because you have to memorize that and you have to. This is the concepts children are forming in the primary section, right? And it is very difficult for us No, the thing is that I wrote a story for children about the number five. The number five complaining to God or number God, that saying that no child is loving me. Why? Because every time the teacher asks, write five times, or say five times, etc. So the children are not loving me, and etc. No. So these are the concept. If you want to write something, or if you want to say something or learn something, say five times or write five times and repeat it. And these kind of concepts are getting, children are getting out of our classroom processes. So this happens in the primary level. So it is very difficult for us to change these concepts in the upper primary and high school level, because it is strongly depicted in their mind. Now, I come across a class, say in standard, the teacher was absent for some reasons and everything. So I just casually asked, so why don't you read those lessons by yourself? You can read and you can understand. The reply came was, the teacher didn't take the lessons, take them. So we didn't go through the lessons because the teacher didn't take. That is it. Okay, so if so the child has formed a concept like this, that whenever a teacher takes a lesson, then only I have to study the lesson. Okay, so there is no need of studying other lessons by ourselves or by my own, etc. These are the simple concepts the children are getting through the processes of what we are doing in the classroom. So that is why the primary teachers should understand the classrooms or the behavior of children, how children are forming opinions, and how they are reacting, how their body languages, and etc., and try to change it accordingly. So you should attract them, you should allow them, you should give space for them to do something, and you should be a good what do you call, observer of children, what are doing or something, and giving some little hints and clues here and there. That then only the self-learning mode will be triggered, and that is the best learning. If the self-learning part is triggered, then the children will attempt at least to turn the pages of a new book and etc. No, now the love is not there, because she has to something to find out her own. Then only the happiness comes. Every child understands that. So what I am doing, I am repeating, or I am doing what I am supposed to do, or what the others telling me to do. So there is no scope or no space for try my own things and what do you call, get confident from that. So whenever the child children goes very down, and so what happens is that, why trying answering and getting what you call scolded or and everything, so let it be quiet. So what happens is that in the classroom, children are willing to keep quiet, don't want to take risks. Only the so-called what do you call best students will be there. Few, maybe 4 or 5, will interact with the teacher. And if you observe a teacher from outside of the classroom, that the teacher always looking at the side of where the best students of the class are sitting, not looking at these are the common things. So the teacher has to change, understand it. And also the best part we are giving in the training is that how to attract children. What are the strategies you can use to attract children and guarantee their involvement? That is the point. That is why when the involvement is high and children are happy finding out their own things, the self-learning mode will be triggered in high school and college level. That is the thing. So we have to form that opinion in the primary section.
Beautiful answer.
Okay.
So, again, for your incredible contribution to math education, you have received the PP Raman Award by
Yeah.
Raising a Mathematician Foundation. Could you tell us how it feels when your hard work is being recognized by something like Raising a Mathematician or any other organization?
Oh, okay. Gopal, this is the first, okay, and award kind of thing, the thing is that my friends, we have the Vinay and myself have some common friends, and I don't know, they are talking about myself and my work and etc. The thing happened is that working as a state resource person for Tamil Nadu to giving training to the master trainers of their state. Trainers training kind of thing. And I used to share some of the responses and activities and happened in the teacher training and etc. I don't know that my common friend is sharing those things with Vinay and everything, and also they are looking for a teacher to endow the award and etc. That is how it happened. And the beautiful thing is that my my dear friend, Mr. Sriram, had introduced me in a beautiful way. I suppose you heard that already,
Yes,
no?
yes, yes.
Okay, so
I've
that
gone
is
through that
quite a
video.
surprise for me. Okay, so turn up there. So he was there. That was the first surprise. And second surprise, he is the person who is going to introduce me. Okay. So because of Sriram, I entered into a another world, kind of say, going to cities and everything, going to say very what do you call famous schools and etc. Teaching lot of things, so that is how I rejoined. Because of him, I rejoined with Subir and etc. So lot of things I cannot simply forget Sriram's role in my life. And he introduced beautifully, and I was so happy. So he introduced me, and that is a big award rather than Ram. But of course, Vinay Nair, and he is also from our PP Raman is also from Palakkad district, Kerala. So
Okay.
there are both, what do you call, emotionally we are attached to it. It's quite a good feeling. And what happened is that so many friends inquired about after the award. So what you are doing and etc. So a lot of things are happening. And it's a feather in my cap when I attend, when I stand before the teachers as a resource person. So a lot of things happening. Very good feeling, really. So
It's a
now
great
that is
achievement.
why
It's a great
the
achievement.
appreciation, we have to appreciate children whenever they are doing something, right? So the same feeling, no, then only they will be getting motivated and everything, right?
Exactly. Already you have served lot, like around 30 years, 3 decades means it's a lifetime for someone.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's me, 32 years old now, and almost you have served my age,
yeah.
that much years. So the recognition is must. It was
Yeah.
needed.
No,
It was needed.
Gopal, nothing in the number, I always say is that it is not the number. No, I spent 15 years without knowing anything. You behaved like an ordinary teacher. What do you call, the child didn't learn something. It is his own mistake. It's not my. If the children are learning something, it is because of me. So that kind of feeling was there, quite an ordinary teacher. But after that state level meeting, after meeting peoples and what do you call, facing the questions, hard questions and etc., you start thinking and doing something else. There you can say that the experiences or learning starts. So the 15, you can, out of 30 years, you can simply what do you call, what do you call, reduce the 15 years, and you can say, okay, I have 15 years of experience, and that's it. Even there, if you are not learning new things, what is in the number of years, 1 or 2 years is enough. If you are keen and aware and you are doing some new things and learning every time, that 2 year is more than the 15 years, right? So no
Exactly.
senior, junior, nothing.
That's true. That's true. And like how if you have seen the previous video of Vinay sir, he
Yes,
told like a teacher must learn every single moment.
yes,
He
yes,
should
yes.
not feel like a teacher. He is also a student while teaching.
Every
And
time,
this is
every
so
time.
true. This is so
Yes,
true that even it is you saying the same words, like the
yes,
teacher should be updated every time. He should
yes.
be aware of all those
Open
things
to,
happening.
okay.
Yes. So next is what should be the role of teacher when it comes to primary education, then again in secondary also, because
Hmm.
igniting young minds towards big dreams
Yes.
begins at these stages only.
Okay. Right. When the secondary education means you means standard seven, say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and etc. No,
Yes,
right? That is
yes,
that
yes,
is meant by secondary. Okay. So there again, the basic thing is that so what is their nature? No, so if you are ready to what you call change your activities and content according to their nature. No, their nature is simply different from the primary children, say up to age 10. No, these children are slowly, the ego is coming up, so they want to show off, especially before girl children and everything. They want to what we could boast something among the friends and everything. They want to be top in the peer group and etc. So always they are looking for something. They want to be successful. But what happens in our classroom is that we are looking opportunity for children to. So we will ask questions, difficult questions, where the children should not answer. That suppose I am a question paper. Think about I am preparing a question paper, a test paper or something. So my mind automatically goes there that what would be the difficult question. Difficult question means only one or two will answer, others should not. This is how our mindset is. But that children are looking for what do you call, some situation where they want to be successful and they want to show off and etc. No? Again, if you go for if you give some simple task, again they won't attempt. So the teacher has to measure or assess what is the current level and what is the current interest and everything, and she has to design or create an activities one step above that then only it will be challenged and they will involve and etc. This is the one thing is, if you conduct an activity and everything, these children will love to give their opinions. They have their own opinions, and if the teacher is ready, it is very interesting. So did you learn something from this and etc. If you ask for their opinions, they will love it. Okay, so they will come up with lot of ideas and everything. So if you are willing to listen to their opinion, and if you are ready to change your activities, your days according to the opinions of the children, and they will become your followers. Right? So that is how they are now ready to accept that. Okay, so ask for their opinion.
okay,
No, there is a danger in it that your curriculum, your chapters may not be meaningful for the children. So maybe out of 10 lessons, you have to skip 2, 3 lessons because it's of no. So if you are open for their opinions and you are interacting with them with a free heart, open heart, then you have to take these risks also. Once you get the trust of them, then you can say openly that, look, these are the situations in our country. You should be ready for the higher with this set of marks. For that, you have to practice something that may not be interesting then only you will go to that college and etc. Now, but you can do yourself. I can give some tips and everything, but let us do some interesting work now. Then you introduce some interesting projects, activities, field trips, and etc., which may not be related to the chapters in the what do you call, in the textbook or in the curriculum, but it should be meaningful for the children. That is how learning happens. So that adjustment, or the teacher should be that much flexible when you deal with high school children or higher secondary children. That
Exactly,
is
sir.
how you will get the trust of them.
So, one important question, that is, almost 3 years has passed now, but we could not recover fully because
Mm, mm.
COVID-19 pandemic has caused a
Yes.
massive change in education. Almost
Okay.
overnight, many schools and education system began to offer education remotely, but this crisis has stimulated innovation within the educational sector. So, what do you think? How much successful we are
Okay.
as an educator uh,
Mm,
within the uh, after post pandemic?
okay. Now, we are also dealing with even now, or bridging the gap and everything. So, two, three things. One thing is that the children enjoyed a what do you call, freedom in the house, even when they are learning something. They are learning, but they can sit, they can lie, they can eat, they can move around, and they can watch the video or listen to the teacher. This is a wonderful situation where they never experienced. So for the 2 years, what happens is that they enjoy a lot of freedom, and parents are allowing. Even some teachers, I have watched some online lessons, that the teacher will say that, look, sit down, put your hands like this, and even through videos, that kind of thing, that the teacher thinks that only then their child will listen and etc. That is completely a wrong idea. The child, if it is what we are saying is meaningful to the child may be doing or playing and everything, automatically his ears will be listening to what we are saying. This is the first thing. And second thing is that the span of attention. So if something is not interested, the child is free to do something or run away from that or something. So he can say something, and even the parents are listening, and they can also understand how boring these lessons are and etc. No? So it is very difficult for the child to sit before something is when the situation is very what do you call, freedom or flexible, the child can do whatever he wants at the home, right? This is another thing. And what happens is that because of that online classes and everything in the freedom and etc., so some children are free, so the learning gap becomes widened, with very much gap happened. Some children in a classroom is ready to read storybooks and write stories and etc. Some children don't know letters or cannot read even small words and everything. So this gap is, so it is a major issue. No, so um, what is the way out? Is the only way out is that if the teacher is ready to design an activity where every children can involve or participate according to their level. Uh, no, that is the thing. So we in Tamil Nadu, we came up with a program that foundational FLN, and it becomes Ennum Eluthum. En means number, Eluthu means letters. Language, basically language and maths. So what happens is that we decide activities where in the activity where what do you call, a child from the low what do you call, strata or slow learners kind of thing, can also do something. And so we designed an activities or worksheet levels, and it is practiced in a single classroom. Okay, so the thing is that in standard 3 or 4, if the teacher is supplied with activities of same curricular objective, but it starts from the beginning, ends there, and what do you call, up to that classes learning objective or standard of that, So the color coding is there, so slow one color for that, so it is supplied, every children are participating, and slowly what happens is that the peer group interaction happens. So what is in your worksheet, what is here, what are you doing, I am doing this, and so the interaction happens, and the teachers support also there. Slowly what happens is after completing the low level worksheets, the teacher supplies the next level worksheets immediately and accept according to the pace. Now, the thing is that according to their level and according to their learning pace, activities are designed and supplied there, and slowly the gap is bridged now, right? So again, we are because of the success of so teach at their level. That is the slogan. So whatever their level, begin with there and give some interesting task and etc. For that, you need not teach all the concepts. That is the number one thing. And if the child is interested in something, keep on pushing them. Some children will be interested in doing something, maybe in maths or language or drawing or writing or reading, listening to stories and etc. So keep on doing them, and but increase the challenge of task and etc. So two things happened, and because of the success, the Tamil Nadu government take up that Ennameltham program for standard 4 and 5 also.
Okay.
And I am supporting the content writers. So how to design activities there also. It's beautiful. So two things, start from their level and give activities according to their pace, and be ready to, what do you call, flexible with the chapters and curriculum. These are the 2-3 things we have to focus on.
Wonderful. So mainly the thing what you're saying is nowadays the activity-based learning process should be morely given weightage in the
Yes,
school,
yes,
in the
yes, yes.
schools.
Meaningful.
Otherwise, there will be a rote learning process. That
Yes,
is what.
yes, yes.
And so parents, you must listen to this line that what sir is saying, that the activities are very important nowadays. The project works, whatever, actually it improves the learning and skills of all the students. Not only like making files, a lot of things related to math, science, history, whatever the projects are there. The activity learning is a very important one in the new education policy also, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But there is a big question there. What is an activity? No, we have to decide.
Yeah, yeah. Activity should be prepared well mannered in a
Yeah,
proper,
yeah, yeah.
like what you
No,
said,
that is, yeah.
keeping students in mind.
Yeah, yeah. And
Activities
their
should be right
experience
from
and
the base.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, two more questions left, sir. Then,
Please go on.
yeah. So, what are the major things need to be kept in mind uh, when a teacher introduces mathematics to the students for the first time? Could you
Yes.
please explain this with some illustration?
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of things, the important point is that don't what do you call, teach. No, so if you are looking for learning objectives and textbook lessons, and you start designing activities according to it, then that is going to be a terrible experience for the children and you also. You may be trying, working hard and designing activities. And so take the situations, first, before that, understand children. The thing is that where the children comes from. Now look at that. If suppose there is a toy, the toy, when it is upside down, again the child says it is a toy, and we agree there. Okay, and if the toy is repaired or put into pieces, again the child says that it is my toy, and we agree that. Now come to mass. If we write 23, it is 23. If you change the digits, It's not 23, right? It is 32 or something, right? If you take up one part, it becomes 3. And if you, so there is huge difficulty for the children to understand and make rules and everything. So the thing is that is why don't teach anything, don't teach or don't give rules. Now 1 and 0 makes 10, and no, don't do that. Okay, if you say 0 is nothing, and if you say 1 and 0 makes 10, and another situation you say that if you add 0 to 1, you will get the same number 1. And so lot of confusions. And
Exactly.
so first the teacher has to understand that there are lot of difficult concepts for a child to understand because of the earlier experiences the child have. Okay, this is one thing. And second thing is that you keep on doing and writing, and okay, so how many things. And now suppose there is a play we usually play in standard 1. Okay, there is a room. If I say number 1, you can come up with 2 objects in the classroom. What are they? So they will look for that. Okay, one is blackboard. Okay, the other thing they will look for. Oh, okay, one teacher. Okay, so these are now if I say 4, what are they? So children will be looking around and connecting the number and objects again there, but it's almost a play. It's not what you call teaching the number 4 and etc. But the child may be writing 4 windows, 1 blackboard and etc. The numerals will be introduced, but she is not teaching it. It becomes a wholesome, meaningful experience to the child. Okay, slowly after waiting, after doing the same thing for so many times, the child will be coming up with some drawings and etc. The child automatically writes the numbers, so the teacher has to wait for that. This is the thing, first thing. And second thing is that if you want the child to do something, please ensure that the child's curiosity is aroused. Okay, so suppose you are teaching multiplication in standard 5 or division or something like that. The thing is that the first statement I used is because the multiplication is introduced in standard 2 onwards and 3, and the children suffered a lot because of the tables and everything. So if I say in standard 5 that you need not learn multiplication, okay, there is another simple way only to remember 2-3 rules, then you can create multiplication for table for any number. Suppose you are saying 73. I can, within seconds, I can create multiplication for 73. Do you want to know the tricks? Do you want to know the concepts, etc.? The children will be. So this is the first
Right.
thing. So come on, let us learn. So the thing is that, so present a beautiful problem where the child wants to solve it, then it happens, the child is ready to learn. It's not by what you call teaching addition first and teaching subtraction next and etc. No. So what would be very interesting is that present a beautiful problem. Okay, so the child is interested in select. So then if we want to solve that, what would be what we have to learn, or what are the things we want to know, etc. No? Then slowly start doing that. This is one thing. The second big thing is that we have to understand this. If we want to develop problem solving skills among children, and now our textbook is utter failure on that, because what we say is, or what experts says is that a problem is a problem when we don't know how to deal with it, right? Then only it is a problem. Now take the case of textbooks. If you are teaching addition and all the problems are given as addition based, okay, so no, the child, if understand that trick, so no need of what you call reading the word problems and etc. Simply add the numbers and you will get the answers, right? If you are teaching division and all the sums are division based sums, so it's not capable of or helping children to develop that problems.
Yeah.
That is the second thing. So we have to understand that also. And the third thing is that when you are dealing with primary children, the biggest harm, as far as I am concerned, is that excessive use of materials and manipulatives. Okay, don't do that. No, so whenever if the child is used to doing this, then when it comes to standard 6 or 7, the child is going to ask you that, please show me how negative into negative becomes positive using objects. Okay, the child is confused there how loss and loss multiplied and you will get profit. No, so the child will be confused there. So whenever confusion comes, what the teacher did earlier is using objectives, manipulatives, and etc. Objects and so explaining the concepts by using them. By that practice, the child is going to ask you that, come on, show me, use objects and show me negative into negative or positive. The child will be in a trap, very, a difficult situation. So the thing is that imagination, developing the imagination of a child is the basic thing for doing math. No, so you have to tell stories, and you have to think about talking birds, talking trees, walking trees, maybe. So develop that imagination faculty that helps understand math a lot in later stage. So these are the few basic things a primary teacher should understand before dealing with children. On these concepts, we developed teacher training modules and etc. We are giving training so, on the basis of these principles. Okay.
Once again, it was a beautiful way of explaining my questions answer, and I'm really very fascinated what you're saying.
Thank
And
you.
so, one
Okay.
final question that is
Okay.
for you, uh, that what is the final message would you like to give to all the teachers who are working in schools or
Hmm.
connected to some organizations or teaching privately? What is the
Okay.
easiest way to bridge the gap between the teaching and learning process so that this process becomes joyful for both students and teachers?
Lot of things. So maybe the questions may be you used a lot of words, but the simple answer is that if or what you are doing in the classroom, if those things are not meaningful to the child, nothing happens. Okay, so the basic and the best thing is that observe children, observe what is their nature and what are they interested with or interested in. So from there you develop something. Okay, and in the era of information explosion or technology kind of thing, there is nothing harm is going to happen if you leave some what do you call chapters or yeah, pick out only the interesting thing in everything. Okay, these are the things. So observe children first, understand their nature and understand their learning process, and be ready to change your content and your process according to the child is the best thing. And once the child forms an opinion that whatever my teacher says is meaningful to me, then you can frankly say that, look, dear, this structure, our school structure and the thing is that these examinations are boring, but what to do? You have to, then the child will be willing to do for that because some interesting thing is going to happen. So how quickly you can overcome that, we will get more time to do some interesting, meaningful work and etc. These kind of understanding a teacher should have. So the pivotal or the most important thing is that understand children, be open to listen to them, get their opinion, ready to change accordingly, and ready to skip some lessons and learning objectives. Okay, so these are the basic thing. A joyful, the teacher who want to create a joyful classroom should keep in mind, right?
So it was great listening to you, sir.
Thank you.
And the
Thank you,
points that
Gopal.
you made was really wonderful. I am sure that it will be very helpful for all the teachers who are listening through my video. And it was
Okay.
amazing for me to be with you and share the single screen with you. And uh, and thank you so much for finding out some time
Thank you, Gopal. It's wonderful chatting with
and
you and a lot of things to be shared. So I just skipped or what do you call throw some points here and there. So we usually doing teacher training 5 days, 6 days
yeah.
residential trainings happening. Okay, so lot of points we have to discuss in order to bring a small change, a behavioral change in the teachers, because like children, teachers are also used to come or taught in a different way or in the traditional way or something, and they practiced for years. So if you want to make them change something, you have to work very hard. So that is how adults change. You have to surprise them. You have to, what you call, keep on experiencing them, and you have to make them as a researcher kind of thing. Then only. So don't give authoritative arguments and everything. These are the suggestions. Go to your class, do it, and find out how interesting it is, and how find out how children are reacting. Then come to us with your experiences.
Feedback.
We will discuss some more. That kind of a continuous support or input or a continuous discussion, only then we can see a small amount of change in the classroom. That is it. That will be sustainable. Okay. Otherwise, what happens is that okay, so I will be energized, a boost of 5 days training. Go to the class, 2 weeks, it will be off. Then again, you will be in the normal cycle, right?
Yeah.
So that we have to avoid. But anyhow, I want to learn from your friends, teachers, colleagues, and everything. I'm sure we will do that webinar. Sure, sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for
It's a
being
wonderful
so
experience.
kind. Thanks for being so kind. And we need more teachers like you
Sure, sure,
because
sure.
you're doing wonderful work